Alright, today we're going to be working on the hood latch mod. As you know, if you have a pretty much 94 through 04 Mustang, when you try to shut the hood at a normal height, it does not shut. You have to really drop it from about 4 feet or throw it down hard, which is not a lot of fun to do. So we're going to install some shims on the bracket that latches the hood, and that'll make it so that it'll close very easily. Alright, for this modification it's fairly simple as far as tools are concerned. You just need a Phillips screwdriver, a T30 Torx 8mm or 5/16 socket, and then a few washers that you just pick up at the hardware store. So take a small Phillips screwdriver, and you're going to want to take off all 4 of these screws and remove this little header plate. These pretty much just unscrew to about this point, and then you can lift them out and then pull this other piece out behind it. Next, go ahead and remove this trim piece. Set it aside. And next we're going to be going after these 5/16 bolts. 8mm will also work. And then a T30 Torx right here. It's not too critical, but it's best to break this one loose and not take it out all the way. Remove these 3 all the way first, and then take that one out last. Okay, so I just removed all 3 of these bolts, including the 4th T30 Torx, and just sent this whole assembly. I've kind of put it off to the side here, and here's what we're left with. You want to make sure that this stays in place for sure, and we're just going to throw a washer or 2 on top and put it back together. So here's where I've added a few washers. I actually put 2 here. I tried 1 and it didn't really work, so I took it apart again. And then I noticed this car has a factory shim up here, and judging by the factory overspray, this was already here. So in order to help on this end, I'm going to add another washer up top. So you may have to try different combinations to see what works for your car, but we'll try this one. I also put a little bit of silicone on each of these to keep them in place. This will be a good opportunity also to clean this all up if you're a neat freak like myself. Alright, that looks a lot better. Nice and clean now. I don't think you'll find a cleaner hood latch anywhere else right now. Okay, so now I'm just lining this T30 Torx back up, and then I'll install those other bolts. So I was very careful to align this and make sure that the bolt went through the washer and into that little retention clip. And I'm not tightening it down all the way yet. I'm going to put these other ones in and line everything up before we tighten it all down. Okay, everything's been reinstalled, pretty much just snug for now. We're going to test it, put these 3 back in, and then that Torx. Next, what you'll want to do is take these hood stops and twist them clockwise so that they go smaller and go downward, because now your hood's going to perhaps sit a little differently. And then you'll be able to look up inside and see if it's touching the hood. So here's the test right here. I'll lift the hood just barely up so it's not too high off, and give it a little drop, and it closes right up. It's a little hard to see, but right there in the middle of the screen is that stop. So you can look up between the headlight and the hood, and then you can tell if that stop is touching the hood or not, and then make your adjustments, lifting it up or lowering it down if it seems like it's too high. You should also be able to tell if there's a little bit of a gap. I can tell the hood looks like it's just a little too high right here, so I'm going to lower that stop just a little bit. Make one last pass through here, make sure that everything's good and tight, then put the little cover back on and you should be done. Okay, now just replace this trim piece right here. tighten down the screws and you're done. With these little guys, you want to pinch the bottom of them together, put it in, and then put the little screw in. You'll also notice now it is super simple to release the hood. So just make sure as you're driving down the freeway that it's not bouncing all around. Make sure that you can hear it lock when you're done closing it. And yeah, now it doesn't really take much effort to close it. And it's still locked.